Okay, hello everyone. My name is Nora Rose Zinnerman. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all here, and I'm going today to be talking about website energetics, which is a topic I love, I'm passionate about, and also about how to imprint your frequency onto your website, how to kind of translate that thing that you do, into the vibe of the website, which is sometimes the step that we sometimes feel like, oh, that's a little icky, something is not quite there and I cannot really put my finger on it. But it's like a felt sense that you perhaps feel like, it's not quite there yet, but it's nearly there. Or you are at a place, where you think, this thing is really old, I've moved forward, I've evolved from what I was doing, and there's like a natural evolution and a natural progression. And perhaps you just want to be a bit more intentional about how you communicate on your next online presence. So to start with, I'm going to be talking about website energetics from the point of view of the website being a container and how it relates to your potential customers and how it relates to your online presence in like the matrix, in the online space of you being kind of alive and having something there, that people suddenly come and touch base with, before they even meet you in person. Yeah. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit more about how to bring your own energy onto the website, especially for solopreneurs, for businesses that are perhaps a small organization, or maybe even if you have a small team, there's still what it is that you do, that is the frequency of your work that needs to be imprinted on your website. Is this making sense? Fabulous. I'm going to share my screen now. Can you see my screen, everyone? Lovely.
Yes.
Excellent. So that's just my pretty photo from my latest photo shoot last week. So I'm just showing off, basically. So I am going to talk about website energetics and about activating your online presence. So your website is the online home of your business. And I know it sounds really obvious. It is the online home of your business, but we sometimes forget that, in the old days, perhaps if you practice whatever you do in the old days, someone will come to an office or someone will come to a clinic, or my clients would come and actually sit next to me and touch my screen, which was sometimes, a little overwhelming perhaps, or a little annoying, but the interaction happened here, in person. And nowadays we need to kind of recreate all of that in the online space. And so we are already holding space for these people that come into our clinic, office, studio. We're having to do that online. So what we need to do is we need to replicate the in-person experience. And what happens with replicating the in-person experience? I'm just going to do like a little rundown of what I would do if someone came here. I would perhaps say, hey, hi, how are you? A little interaction. Then I would say, you can put your coat here, come through here. Would you like a tea? I don't start making a million offerings, right? I just guide them step by step. And I am also instructing them, yeah? I might take some notes. I'm going to tell them how this is going to go. So what I'm doing is I am already holding space. I am instructing. I am telling them. And I am kind of holding them in this container, which is my studio. And so with your website, you need to do exactly the same. You need to replicate the in-person experience onto the online space. Is this making sense? So your website is the online sanctuary of your soul business. Yeah. Your website is that place where you're welcoming people, and it's as much as a business tool, and also it's an energy field. And I'm saying it's a business tool because we as business owner, we sometimes forget, you know, that the website needs to do a few jobs for us. Yeah. It needs to help us with the admin. It needs to help us with communicating what we do. And also what a website does as a help is it pre-qualifies people. It tells them a little bit about what we do. And so when they come and talk to me, for example, they very likely have a taste of what I do. They very likely know the services. What that means is they are familiar with my work. And so if I meet someone and I have a clarity call, they'll be already in the essence of what I do, and we can get into what it is that they need. I can serve them much quicker. I don't have to prove any credentials. I don't have to tell them, you know, this is what I've done, this is not what I've done, I've got experience on this. In the old days, you know, you would have perhaps a phone call and people will just check you out, right? And also the website makes bookings. It helps you with bookings. It helps you with funnels. If you have funnels, it helps you with offering resources to people. If you've done, say, sessions, or if you've done any kind of service, then they can go and find the resources they need to continue being supported. I mean, and then it expands, you know, to memberships, communities, and courses, and, you know, larger structures. And it's also an energy field, like we were saying, you know, when people come to your website, there's something that's kind of, you know, resonating for them. Something is kind of bringing them here. And what brings them here is something that is happening to them. So when they come to this website, and perhaps you see my hand, you know, their motivation will either feel an attraction or it will feel that they're being repelled. And that's really good because other people are going to serve them better. So your website is a portal into your world. So when people land on your website, on your organization's website, they need to feel like they're already in your world. Yeah, it might just be the very first point of contact that they have with you and your business, either because they found it just by chance, they've been recommended, or they've seen a post. You know, there's a myriad, or they've read a blog post. Yeah, there's a myriad of ways of arriving onto a website. And it's a bit like a shop window, you know. Sometimes I think, you know, when I'm walking on the street and suddenly I feel this kind of pull to go into a shop because something in the window called me. Yeah, it may be that I wasn't looking for anything, but the way it's arranged, someone did that intentionally. The way it was put together, someone did that intentional. So what we're doing, just like in a shop or just like in person, we're creating resonance. Yeah, and we are creating also dissonance with the people that are not aligned with us. So the people that are aligned with us will resonate fully, and the people that are not in our line of work, that are going to be served much better by someone else, are going to be leaving very quickly when the website is aligned, when the brand, when the field, when the container is right. Yeah. So it will be wonderful to have a little sense of what this container could be. So I'd love to invite you to do a very short visualization with me if this is something you want to do. And I'm just going to guide you. All you need to do is close your eyes and just perhaps relax on your chair, wherever you're sitting. And taking a deep breath. And just bringing presence to you. to your body. And allowing the mind to gently drop. Almost like the thoughts are trickling down towards the body. Maybe you want to place a hand on your belly, on your heart, anywhere that helps you to bring presence, if you wish. Just beginning to feel into the atmosphere that you would like to create for your online container. A felt sense of the atmosphere of this container. And it might be with words, or it might be colors, or it might be a place. What does it feel like to be in that container of your world, your offerings, your online portal? Just relaxing into this moment as you begin to tune into this. And allowing for that felt sense, whether it's just little seeds or whether it's more defined, to kind of take space within you, inside your body. And rooting yourself, grounding yourself. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back to the call. So it'll be wonderful to hear any insights, any felt senses, experiences, or nothing. Just unmute and talk when you're ready.
Yeah, I can share quickly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I saw a lot of bright colors like the rainbow. So I got that warm sense, but quite grounding, quite inviting. I saw a lot of colors, and to me that represented the different shades of emotions, and I saw a lot of trees and nature. So it was very grounding and safe, but fun at the same time. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Anyone else? Yes, Azar.
Yes, mine, it felt very peaceful, very informative, and supportive and empowering, but kind of very clean, and quite simple, but with lots of heart in it.
Beautiful, thank you. It's really good to begin to feel into this. You know, you may not have the words, but this felt experience, you know, is kind of something that you can bring over and over, you know, as you are percolating and marinating these this birthing. I call it a birthing, you know, and clients do say I'm a doula for their online presence and their brands, because really, you know, when you are having a soul business, which is what I am assuming most of you do, it has your frequency. And so to intentionally infuse these onto your online presence is kind of the first step. Any more sharings?
Yeah, I can share, Nora. I had a couple of words, transparent and clear.
Ooh.
And insight, sort of fresh and clean cut lines, and yeah, it felt really good.
Thank you. Okay.
And share. I had an image of people sitting around a campfire, and there was an open seat, and the people around kind of had their arms out in a way that was like inviting the person to that seat.
Oh, I already want to come there.
And then my brain immediately went, what will I do with that?
Hold on to it. Hold on to it. You know, I used to get images of temples in the beginning, the last round, not this round. I'm about to rebrand my website, but the previous rounds of my website, which was 4 or 5 years ago, I used to get images of a temple. And I was thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm not going to go to a temple. And then I just began to feel into the energy and feel more and feel more. And it took a little bit of time, but eventually it kind of gets you to the essence of what it is. It may not look at all like a campfire, or it may not look at all like a temple, but it's the felt sense of how you welcome people into your space. I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to share my screen again. So there's messages in the chat. Oh no, that's not for me. Nice that you know each other. Right, share screen. So we were here and we did a little bit of the felt sense of that portal. So we're going a little bit more onto the practicalities. You know, your website works on 3 levels. It's an energetic connection with your visitors, which is what we've been talking about. It's also a container for your gifts, for your soul work, your teachings, whatever it is you do. And it's also a practical support, which is the side of the admin that I was talking about, yeah? So for the energetic connection, now what we're doing is we're kind of beginning to, we did a little bit of what is the atmosphere you want to create, yeah? We just looked into that. We just felt into that. So if you put yourself in your customer's shoes, and you know, there's a lot of exercises out there about what are the needs of your customers, what results do they look for, blah, 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 all of that. But this is more like the intangible, yeah? What is it happening to them, that kind of moment, yeah, that before they come to the website? What is it that they're feeling? What brings them here? Usually for me, what happens is people are in a state of either they've been thinking about having a website for a long time and they're just like bursting, literally bursting with it. They just can't wait anymore. And it's like they're full of ideas. Sometimes they have 2 or 3 websites, you know, they've got one here, one there, because they are landing all these teachings that they have. Sometimes people are in a place where they had websites before and they had other designers before. They are a little bit worried because the previous websites were not quite right. And so they're a bit worried and they're not sure whether I'm going to get them. Yeah. So that is like a taste of where they are at. And some people are, right, this website is there. I've evolved completely. I need my vision, which I have here, to bring me to the future. So I want my future to be created with a website, and then I can move forward there, yeah? So there's several different things that might be happening to people, and it's really important to tune into them And usually what happens is when people come and talk to you, you can make a list and you'll realize that there's usually only 2 or 3 things that are happening. For me, the way I describe it is that they are uncomfortable. Yeah. For healers, it might be that they are in absolute pain, or they are, it's not like, it's not that I want to buy a pair of shoes, right? And I just go and I think, right, it's not a practical thing. People that are offering healing modalities or some form of transformation, their clients, just before they get to their website, just before they get to contacting them, they might be in a very difficult, painful place. So your website needs to be super simple in the sense that, hey, I see where you're at, let's get you moving forward. Yeah. Even if it's gentle, even if it is a real kind, gentle movement, these people don't want to see the pretty thing, perhaps, and I'm just speaking like hypothetically. Yeah, it doesn't mean that's always the case. But what I want you to do is really tune in into these details. It's also a structured container, and I was talking about this a moment ago. Lots of entrepreneurs are very creative and they've got loads of ideas. They've got different offerings. Some of them come to me and they've got 5, 6, 10 services, like a suite of services. And what happens is when the website is well designed, when it has good architecture, it provides a place not just for customers, but for the website owner, for the entrepreneur to land the stuff. For those of you that perhaps know Nicholas and the Center for Conscious Ascension, that website needed a place where to land all the training. Yeah, the website architecture is quite complex because there's so many offerings that it needs to be super clear to navigate in the front or people, but behind the scenes is fairly complex. And also it's practical support. Your website becomes a support and sales tool, like we were saying earlier. It can do transactions, it can book sessions, it can enroll people in your marketing list, in your email marketing list. It also magnetizes the right customers and repels the ones that are not aligned. It pre-qualifies the customers, like we were saying, when someone comes and talks to me, they're already familiar. So we can go in, we can go deep, we can say, hey, let's see what really needs to happen here. And it also guides customer, if you have any sales funnels, it guides them to the sales funnel. So, any questions so far? How are we doing? All good? Fabulous. I'm just going to share my screen. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go more into the frequency. So we've done the container, we've done a little bit of what happens with the client, and now the other side, yeah? Because it's always an interaction. As a business owner, what you're doing is you are being a practitioner, which is all the interactions with your clients, and also you're being a business owner, running email marketing, perhaps doing social media posts, running the website. So, it's like you are at the same time a business owner and a practitioner of whatever your craft is. And then there's the website, which is that entity in the middle between your clients and you. So we're going to go now to you imprinting your frequency. So how to imprint your frequency on your online presence. And this is something I love to do. This is the work I do, which I call embodying your brand. It's usually the very first step that I get my clients to work with. And it's about going into that embodied felt thing that you do without going into the mind. so that you can root all your communications in this essence of the work you do. It might even help you understand that you actually do have a methodology for how you work. It's not that you trained in Reiki or divine healing. You don't offer the training that you trained in. You offer the experience of working with you. And that is the frequency that we translate onto your online presence. Yeah, because there's many other divine healers, there's many other designers. But my unique way of working, no one can replicate, right? No one can do what I do the way I do it. People might even have similar words on their websites describing their work, similar to me, but my energy, my vibrancy, my vibration of how I do it is completely different to someone else. Yeah, and you learn. Good, I can see some thumbs up. And you learn that. Thank you for the feedback. And you learn that by listening to your clients and feeling into what they say about you. Yeah, when I said my clients call me a birthing doula for their online presence, for their website, it would have not occurred to me to describe myself as that. And I don't really use those words, but it just gives me a clue of what happens. Yeah, it gives me a clue. A lot of clients say that healing happens as they do the process of embodying your brand. A lot of clients say that I'm a little bit tough, but also very kind. Yeah, so listening to that feedback is gonna give you the clues of what that frequency is, aside from what you know that you do. So you hold the keys within. And for a conscious business, your brand identity, your frequency starts within. It's not only a set of beautiful images with a matching color and a great color palette or some, beautiful legible font. It really is more, much more than that. And I'd like to invite you again to perhaps close your eyes if you'd like to. And now, instead of tuning into the container, we're going to tune into the root essence, the essence of your soul work, what you've been put on this earth to do. So just closing your eyes and relaxing into the moment. Bringing presence to your body in whichever way feels right. You might place your hands somewhere on your body. Deep breath. Just allowing yourself to go in, to drop inside. Now you're tuning into your soul work. Whether you practice what you do or don't practice it yet, I'd love you to tune into that thing that you do when you are most joyous, when you're most happy. And it's flowing, feels easy. The thing you do that makes you very happy. And just tuning into it in your body, especially your belly. This is the essence of the work you do, the felt essence of it. And again, there might be some words to describe it. Or there may be colors, or there may just be a felt sense in the body of exquisite something. Just allow it to be within the frequency of your work. And grounding yourself, and gently coming back to the call and opening your eyes. You know the drill. If you'd like to share, please do. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you might want to put it in the chat.
I can share again. That was very powerful for me. I see a lot of visuals, and whenever I go into like a meditative state, and I saw a lot of images to do with the weather and taking my clients down a journey and literally holding their hand. And because a lot of people, I saw lots of visuals to do with like rain, storm, and then the sunshine coming in. But a lot of people are so caught up in life that we don't fully enjoy the sunshine.
Mm.
And I saw a lot of trees, and I saw this winding path, which was basically a representation of life. So what I do is I guide my clients on this winding path, and I hold their hand. So I literally saw me holding their hand, and I saw the sun coming through, me grounding them. So there was a lot of images to do with weather, and I was just trying to make sense of it, and it just sunk in, and it made real sense that I don't know what I would call it, but it was just I'm basically holding their hand through this process,
Mm.
and yeah, it was very beautiful actually, and it was a very strong visualization. So thank you. I just thought I'd share that.
You're very welcome. The word guide was coming up as you were talking.
Guide, yeah, guide,
Companion.
companion, yes. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And thank you for sharing, Justin. Yes, Tracy.
So what I felt is a place where someone could feel seen and understood and accepted, and that they were able to be vulnerable and to feel self-love, to feel worthy, and I guess the same as Justin, to be like supported through the process of, you know, the chaos of life and why things happen to you, and just not feel like you're being judged in any way. And yeah, so for me it was like a loving home type feeling of lots of support and knowing ourselves on a much deeper level, and even if it sometimes seems dysfunctional, that it's still totally okay.
That's brilliant. Oh, wow. I'm getting goosebumps with all these. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Wow. So all these intentions, all these insights that you're having, they can intentionally be infused on your online presence, on your website. They can be communicated with your photos. They can be embodied in you as you do lives, as you talk to people, you know. And I'm like getting a little bit taller as I'm saying this, you know, and I'm like opening my heart and bringing my shoulders back, you know. All of these is an embodied practice for you to recognize your own essence, recognize your own work, you know, which is unique, and it's your gift to be shared. Any more shares? Good. Let's move on. So there's a lot of you know, fluff around the word brand. I mean, 30 years ago, the word brand was not really being widely used. We used to do corporate identity, right? That was what we did, you know. Branding wasn't a thing. That tells you how old I am, probably. I worked with before computers. So branding is used for a number of things. And you know, I've just wrote down here a few of those things, but please, you know, do let me know in the chat, you know, what you think your brand is, or your branding is. You know, I wrote down it's the identity, you know, because that is the kind of imprint of your unique thing, you know, that identifies what you do. It usually is to do with a name. It's also the look and feel of what you put out on your online presence. Is the experience you create. And, you know, we've gone into that a lot today, the experience that you're creating, because sometimes we worry so much about, you know, what other people are saying, the photos that they use. I like those colors, but really what we're doing is we're creating an experience, which is the experience of being with you, literally. Also, underpinning that is the values that you stand for. Yeah. The values that you stand for, the things that are absolutely non-negotiable, that you want to be working and standing by. And it's also the emotions that you evoke in people, you know, all of these creates emotions, creates resonance with people. It's not just a pretty, like we were saying earlier, it's not just a pretty thing put together with the colors. Oh, I like these colors, I like these fonts. So when people ask me, you know, in the very beginning of working together, you know, what do you think my colors should be for my website? I kind of say, I really have no clue, because it's something that we are going to be collaborating and creating and birthing together. These things come through as you, the client, embodies their brand, as you learn and share what it is that your brand is and what it is that your brand is not. Is this making sense? Because this is like a concept. It's not a very practical thing. Yes, I can see thumbs up. Okay, lovely. Thank you. So to have brand clarity is basically to become crystal clear, super relaxed about communicating the thing that you do. And I know a lot of us, we get stuck with that, you know, what is it that I do? You know, yes, I do brands and websites, but that's not it really, isn't it? That's kind of a bit vanilla. I'm diluting it. So when I say I do branding and website that truly, 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 truly reflects the essence of your vision, of your soul work, and nothing less, that makes more sense, doesn't it? So the exercise is to really not dilute yourself and to not be a little vanilla, you know, to really find the words that feel aligned with the work you do. And then obviously put them in one sentence, which is obviously the magic. And it takes time and it changes as well over time. So when you have brand clarity, you can root all your communications in one overarching clear foundation. You become fluent and you are comfortable about your brand. You also have discernment, you know, for what your brand is and what your brand is not. Then you suddenly start thinking, no, that's not like my brand at all. But that is, even if it is in another industry, that really feels like my brand. For example, you know, Justin, you might see images of weather or, you know, stormy things, and you might just think like, oh, that feels like a part of my brand. That feels like could contribute to my brand. Yeah. Then you, when you have brand clarity, you can explain with ease the essence of what you do. Your inner vision begins to get aligned with the outer translation. So what you know inside, it is your brand, it gets translated correctly. And then finally, obviously, you learn to activate your soul brand in you. So it's like you're a living, breathing thing of your brand, basically. Just going to stop sharing because I can see some messages in the chats. Right, absolutely true. All of these create your brand. On point, absolutely. What is the meaning of soul brand? Thank you for that question. So soul brand for me is the essence of your brand. If you have a soul business, if you are doing something that really comes from within, that is not something that you kind of only just picked, you know, from your head or someone told you to do, you know, if this is like your calling, yeah, some people call it dharma. The soul brand is that expression with visuals and graphics of your own essence. Do I mean purpose? Well, the purpose is kind of more aligned with what you want to be doing. Yeah, purpose, dharma is more about your calling. But the soul brand is that translation of this thing you do onto the online presence. So graphics, fonts, and all of that. It's making sense. Okay. Thank you. Any more questions? Okay. So clarity and embodiment are the key things that I use for my work and that I always love people to have. And you can see here, yeah, you can see that is kind of my methodology. You know, I didn't know it in the beginning, but as time went, I realized that all my spiritual path of embodiment work that I was doing was blending with my design work, and both were informing the way I was working with clients. Yeah. So it's just finding the words to express that. The most important thing to always remember when you're doing anything, when you're putting materials out, is that you hold the vibration of the work you offer. Remember that. And then knowing and learning how to embody your brand and then translate that correct frequency to the outer world is the other really important thing to do. So this is just the last little slide to remind you that, you know, these energies are always at play. Your business, your website, and your client. And this is like a constant interaction. So these are the ways you can work with me. This is a very long list, but basically you can come for a website refresh. You can come for the 1 week Radiant website. And if you're interested in any of these, you know, stay on a little bit longer when we finish the call and I can chat with you if that's what you want to do. And the best place to start really is you can take the courses that all my clients take. I've now made them available for everybody, which are Embodying Your Brand and Plan and Create Your Brand photo shoots. And Embodying Your Brand is the essence of my work. Is you've had a little taste of it today. And I've got a little discount for the courses. So there's a 30% off. So if you put sale now in your coupon code when you are going to buy one of these courses, you're going to get a 30% off. Maybe you just want to take a screenshot if you're interested, or I can put the link in the chat. But this is really where all my clients start, you know, clarifying discovering the core essence of the brand messaging, you know, nailing that. And then they can apply that to the photo shoot, can apply that to the wording. They literally apply it to everything. It's so foundational. Oh, you might want to have a free lesson. I forgot about this slide. So you can just scan the coupon code here or take a screenshot. Again, you can have a little taste of one of the lessons. And we are coming to the end of the presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing. Please tell some website examples, which are good examples. Oh, okay. Examples that relate to what, Sujata? Let me know. Any questions, any comments? Oh, Sujata, you're coming on, yeah.
Yeah, examples, whatever you have told just now, you know, which has these things in the website, so we can learn.
Websites that are correctly translating the soul brand, yeah?
Yes, all of it, whatever you have told just now.
Yes, okay. Well, I would say you can look at all the websites that I designed, but also there's many other websites that are really on point. If you added your email, I can email you some examples, or you can look on my website and there's going to be a portfolio there with lots of examples. Is that the question?
Yeah, could you share me your website address?
Yes.
So
yeah, I'll share now.
can go through that, and some of your websites which you have designed, you can mail me. Yes, I have shared my email.
Yeah, no problem. So I'll put in the chat my own website.
And somehow, both the times I could not get any vision. Probably I need to meditate more, and I do get something.
Yes, patience is a great skill to have with these, and also you know, sometimes when you're walking, an image comes to mind. When you are doing something, perhaps when you're cooking, you know, when you are doing something that feels relaxing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to meditate and think hard. It's more like a relaxation into the space of what's my thing, you know, what is it that I offer? What's the felt experience of this? Yeah. Yeah. Any more? Justin, yeah, I can see.
Hi, Zora. I have a question. So in my case, I did my website about 2 years ago, and I feel like I'm at a kind of crossroads, like redesigning myself, getting clarity on my niche and my soul brand, to use your terminology. So I'm still at this place of getting clarity, with my vision and my target audience, because it's obviously evolved since I've had a bit of a break, right, the last 2 years, and I'm jumping back on the horse now. So my question is, my old client base, I still resonate with, but
Right.
would you say when you're designing your website and your soul brand, would you, if you're struggling to get crystal clarity, with that at this stage, would you use your client base as part of that?
No.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So it sounds like you've gone through some form of evolution. Yeah. Something
Yeah.
shifted in you, whatever it was. I'm not sure what, you know, something happened. You were working for a while, then you obviously took a break, and then you're here now.
Yes.
So the person that you were then, I'm guessing, is not going to be the same person that you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this person that you are now, with everything that happened here in between, has evolved in some form. Something is making you ask it this question. Something is brought you here. You know, it's not just curiosity. It's like something's bubbling. That's what I call it. And then it's really good to get clear about, you know, who you are now, what is the essence of the work you do, and then perhaps your clients will resonate, yeah, but there may be at a different stage, there may be a different type of audience. You know, sometimes, like for example, in the beginning I used to work with organizations that were doing, you know, nonviolent communication. I was more geared for organizations, and I was doing a lot of groups. But then my work and my own evolution meant that I wanted to work more intimately. Yeah, so I just didn't want to work with teams and groups. My own evolution was like, I want to go really deep. I don't want to have like loads of people. Yeah, so going really deep with someone is one-to-one. Yeah, my work got really, it's like you become more expert in what you do. There's kind of no, you're not going back, you're going forward. So that evolution meant some of my old clients dropped off naturally, but some continued to work with me. Yeah. So that's what happens, you know, your evolution. So it's like you're making decisions at the moment. So tuning into that crystal clear clarity, it doesn't mean you're going to change your client base. You're moving forward, and that forward movement is naturally going to qualify or disqualify your client base. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And just another question. So, because your work is really new to me, through Jenny Lyon, right?
Lovely.
And so what would be the next stage? I mean, would you do an analysis of my website, for example, if I wanted to work with you? And then what would be the first port of call? Would it be the links that you shared already?
First port of call is if you, well, actually, I did offer to do a mini website review. I'm pretty aware that we are nearly coming to the end of the class. But for those that want to stay, I'm very happy to do a mini website review. If you want, I can look at your website. You've told
Yeah, I would. Yes,
yeah?
please.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Lovely. Okay, give us a couple of minutes in case someone else wants to ask a few more questions.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Anyone else? All questions are valid. Okay, so let's go on to the website review. I am going to put your website on. Is it Justin Carr, yeah?
Yeah.
.co.uk.
Yeah, justincarr.co.uk.
Okay, brilliant.
Please be gentle.
Good to say that. Yeah. I mean, what is it? Can you give me a little information? What is it that happened before and where are you now? Because that's going to be key.
So before I had a small client base, mainly through word of mouth. So I didn't have a strong online presence. I built my business through Meetup. I had a support group, and I was basically helping men and women struggling with anxiety and stress, low self-esteem, and helping them basically to navigate that negativity on a mental and an emotional level. So it's the journey from the kind of the mind into the heart.
Yes.
And teaching them emotional acceptance.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's have a look at the websites. And all of you, I want you to feel into the website. This is a great exercise. Feel into Justin. You heard about him. You got to know a little bit about him, yeah? And now let's look at the websites. Okay, it's time to feel good. Emotional well-being coach, Justin Carr. I join my program. So it will be lovely to hear what you guys feel. Let me know. Yeah, put it in the chat, you know. Is Justin here? Is Justin, the Justin we see on the call, on the screen, is he here on the website? What we heard. Is he here? Let me know. You can say Justin as well, you know.
So looking back, because this was done 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I think yeah, it could do with more color. I went with kind of a black and white kind of with a yellow theme. I could have had more color with the trees, I felt. You know, it could have been green. I wanted to bring in more of that green to embody the nature, the grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably more photos of myself maybe on the front page as soon as you come to the website, perhaps.
Okay. Right, okay. More color. Maybe have more color. It looks a bit corporate to me. Updated images of yourself. Okay.
A bit corporate, yeah, maybe a bit. Okay. You think it's a bit corporate, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to say what I see here is a gentle but really powerful young man who knows exactly what he's doing, who is, I want to say, an expert. Yeah. You've done this. You've probably done these many other lives before. It's probably not the first time. You know what you're doing. Yeah. And there it looks a little bit dry. It looks a little bit
Dry.
impersonal. Yeah. You have a warmth and a gentleness here, but there's like a power to you that I don't see on the website. I don't see the warmth and I don't see the gentle. It's like, yeah, does it make sense? You look really soft and also very knowledgeable. Your words are clear, the way you speak is really, you know, powerful. You're not doubting yourself. You're very well positioned in how you, your presence is strong. But then on the website, it feels impersonal. That would be the first thing I would say.
Yeah.
And because what you offer is super personal.
Yeah,
I would like to almost have a feel for you very soon at the very top. I don't mean we have to have images of you at the very top, you know, it might just be the weather. But that's kind of the feedback, I would say. The colors is, you know, something like I said before, something that comes after.
Yeah.
Is that
Thank you.
making sense?
No, that was really, really insightful. I think you nailed it. That was yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. So if you're interested in, you know, having kind of more of a conversation about these, the first step is to book a clarity call with me. It's free. You have to fill in the form on my website, and then, you know, we just talk more about how we can work together.
Thank you so much. Yes.
You're very welcome. Shreya, can I share my website link here and have your feedback? Yes, we can do a couple more minutes if people want to stay on. Are people okay to stay on a couple more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, Shreya, tell me what you do. Lovely, everybody's seismic. Tell me.
Hi, Nora.
Words. Hello.
Hi. Oh, firstly, thanks a lot. This was a brilliant session up till now. I'm so sorry. I don't know if I'm clear or not, but I have a little background noise. But excellent meditation sessions. Have taken in a lot. Just to give you some synopsis as to what I do. So I've been a yoga teacher and a meditation teacher for the last 15 years. And I was running my fitness studio from 2018 to 2020, and then COVID happened. Then there was a break. I went to London, finished my MBA. I'm back in India here. And when I meditate, I get a very intense calling that I need to follow my dharma, I need to follow my purpose, which is the essence of helping humanity to raise their consciousness from the material world that we all live in to a very divine cosmic level, and using the gifts that God has bestowed upon me. That would be via yoga, meditation, pranic healing, Ayurveda, you know, the alternative healing modalities. And that is because one of my one of my goals is to help humanity to sort of reduce their dependency on antibiotics and all of this medication, and to take a more organic, natural healing ways, to cope up with your mental, physical, more importantly, emotional, and uplift yourself spiritually. That way. So this website, which has been created, but it's not yet gone live because there are a few changes there. I've really meditated upon it, and I've gone in with the vibrations in my meditations, and sort of gone accordingly with the colors, the images, and all of that. So yeah,
you offer like a very rounded, holistic approach to being in life, basically, and helping humanity with the ascension process. So like the 3D, the 5D, yeah, and you've got
absolutely
tools to support according to what people need in each case.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's have a look at the website. And again, everybody can comment, give me. So we've got Shreya. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, perfect.
No,
Yeah,
we've got Shreya here. Let's see. And do you work one-to-one with people, or do you do groups as well?
I do. I work with organizations. I work with small groups of 10 to 20. I work with children as well. And I'm excellent when it comes to working one-to-one, because you can work as you yourself expressed at a very deeper level, right? And you can really help and be a very important medium in the other person's transformative journey. So yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Right. At Mashanti Wellness. Wow, these green. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a location that people would recognize?
Not really, but it does come in my medications, that so there has to be water element and the element of the element of green. Green is the chakra, the heart chakra color, and nature, of course, and yeah.
Ayurveda, namaste. Soulful blessings. Reserve your sacred online wellness session.
Atma, I just want to let everyone know the word Atma stands for soul, and Shanti is peace. So basically, the name translates to soul, peace, wellness. Yeah, and I'm still contemplating about the name, because I want to take my dharma on an international level, based here from Bombay. And I'm not very sure that everybody would understand the name if I keep it this way, Atma Shanti. So I'm still sort of,
we'll leave the names for another time. Okay, let's see what people are saying. I love the green heart chakra. It's pretty, it's appealing. Okay, very good. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I get a sense that when you were explaining what you would do, I just got a little bit of like, and these, and these, and these, and these. Yeah, it just felt a bit like, ooh, okay, I just have to, how can I just put it together in a simple way? And here it feels the same. I can see, lots of good ideas, that they are perhaps not creating a unified experience. Yeah, so I can see you meditating, but it also feels like you're kind of, levitating, because you don't look like you are in the photo. The photo is beautiful and you are beautiful, but they are not kind of coherent with each other. Yeah, they're not blended well. Then I can see the sacred offerings, there's, I can do these, I can do these, I can do these. And then obviously, there's 3 options here. You're saying you're a spiritual guide, then there's the offerings. Then there's someone else in the photos. And there's like a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange. Then there's obviously the Ayurvedic, herbs, or please correct me because I don't know the words.
Yeah.
There's a photo of you, you know, in blue. So it feels, and then there's all sorts of photos of different people doing different things. It feels a little bit like I was saying, you know, when a child goes to a sweet shop and there's these and there's these and there's these and there's these and there's these, and it's like the child cannot choose because there's so much. It feels a bit like that, you know. It just feels a bit like, oh, where do I go? Yeah, there's too many things to do because they are looking different between them. It's not that you have a million offerings. It's just like each section, as I go through, doesn't have like a rhythm. It doesn't feel, you know, you look really, how can I say, poised and really calm, and you know, you just look really also like you have lots of tools. Yeah, but when I go to the website, it feels like, and these and these and these. That's what I call these kind of websites. That's, it's not wrong. Each section in its own right is probably beautiful. It's just the unified experience of the website is not unified. It's not coherent between them. Is that making sense?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe the synergy has to be worked upon more with the developer probably, and create a more uniform experience.
Yeah. I am going to leave that website for now, but there's one more comment. I love the image of her in the yoga pose, but I think the image be real in the sense that you're actually there instead of a photo shoot image. Yes, it's been photoshopped. You know, it's not, it didn't happen. Yes, of course. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just, if you want to stay 2 more minutes, I'm going to share quickly a website that feels like a unified experience. Yeah. And I'm gonna put it here, and you can see also, let's have a look. Here we go. This is Lori. She's in America. She has been in the, you know, in the boards of McDonald's, you know, boards of directors. She's basically a coach and, you know, helps people kind of behind the scenes, you know, it's like the secret weapon. So when I scroll through, and you can see, you know, she's sitting and she looks a little bit, this is important, you learn to do this. She's looking a little bit cheeky, yeah, that glint in her eye, yeah? That's intentional. She's looking really relaxed on the sofa. You can tell she's experienced, yeah? She's a wise, experienced healer. Then we go scroll down. Can you see that everything feels the same? Although she's even wearing different clothes. And here it feels a lot more corporate. This one felt a lot more relaxed, at home, welcoming. This one feels a little bit more corporate. Yeah. I feel that the vibe of the website is just one place. It's not several places. Yeah. That is what I'm talking about when I refer to a unified experience. And from page to page to page, I just want to be in one container when I am arriving at the website. Right, we are well beyond the time. I don't want to keep people here. I'm going to stop the recording. If anyone wants to talk to me, please stay behind. Thank you so much from my heart for coming here, sharing your hearts out, your businesses, your offerings. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here.